guys, welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing today? In today's video, we're doing a makeup tutorial, and this will be a very easy makeup tutorial for beginners. So we're going to be doing step by step, simple, very simple. If you are doing makeup for the very first time, then this video will be for you. So before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you won't miss a video whenever I upload. So if you're interested in seeing how to do a makeup for the very first time, if it's your first time, then stay tuned and keep on watching. So whenever I am doing my makeup, the very first thing I want to do is moisturize your lips. So the moisturizer that I use for my lips is this brand, and hopefully you will see it. Yeah. You can find this Target or at the pharmacy, any pharmacy in your area. And all I'm going to do is apply some on my finger, and I'm going to distribute it over my lips, and make sure your hands are pretty clean. And I'm just going to rub that into my lips. And all that is doing is making sure my lips are not dry by the time I get to do my lips. And if you have Vaseline, you can also use that. And you can see the product is evenly over my lips. I think everybody knows how to moisturize your lip. The next thing you want to make sure that you do is to moisturize your face. You do not want your face to be dry. The moisturizer that I use is the Olay Complete. And again, you can find this at any pharmacy, or I'm not sure if it's at the beauty supply store, but any moisturizer. Also, Ambi has also a moisturizer. Make sure your moisturizer also has an SPF 30, SPF 40, SPF something in the product, which is the ingredients, okay? And that is telling you how long you can stay outside in the sun before the sun starts affecting your skin. That's what SPF means. The next thing you want to do, or that I do, is I do my eyebrows first. Some people do their face and then go back to their eyebrows. For me, I do my eyebrows. So I get a little tool like this that has a little brush at the end and maybe like a flat brush. But if you have any other ones, I think there's another one that you can get. They sell them at the beauty supply store that just has a comb and it has a brush on the end. So whichever one, make sure your eyebrows are a little bit tame. Mine is not that completely done because I'm trying to grow them in. And I'm just combing them in the direction of which my eyebrows grow. And I'm just taming them over, as you can see. There it goes. And that's it. Now the pencil, you could use an eyebrow pencil, which will be the easiest thing to use. Or they also have a product that you can use from Anastasia Beverly Hills or Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. And what you can use it to do is to fill in your brows. And this is a chocolate color, but I find it pretty easier to use a pencil. Now you could use any NYX pencil or LA Girl pencil to fill in your brows, and I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. Now again, I have some small ones that I've been using, which I'm going to make sure they're finished. Just watch and see what I do. That's all I do for the bottom section. I just draw very light stroke right over. Just like that. You'll do the top the very same. Just like that. Now I'm going to fill them in. I'm not going to come all the way down here. Just watch to where I'm stopping. There you go. That's all the filling that I'm going to do. What I'm going to go back and do now is use this section of the brush that I had, and I'm going to pull that product to the front. And do you see I'm just brushing it this direction, and I'm going to make sure the bottom part also is blend. So I'm going to go up just like that. Pull the product to the front, because you want to have it naturally. Normally your brow starts a little light and then get dark, right? So you want to have it natural like that. I personally like to use a very light concealer to clean my brows up, and a very flat brush. And the flat brush that I use is from Anastasia, and this is the number 18 brush. Now you could use any other flat brush that you have. You could even use a flat brush on this tool here, but I just like to use this one. So I'm gonna go in, and the concealer that I'm gonna use, you could use any concealer. There's many other concealers out there. You have the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I'm trying to find a good shade. This is in, I just use any concealer, guys, that's how much. This is in Toffee. You could use this to clean up your brows, and I'm gonna show you what I mean when I said clean up your brows. So I'm gonna use the MAC, and this is the NC45. And I'm gonna go in to make my brows look more defined. That's what clean up means, to make your brows look more defined, it stands out. And I'm gonna start from in the middle, and I'm gonna do the ends, and then I'm gonna work myself to the tip. So watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure I get some products on the brush. Then I'm gonna go in right here in the arch of my brows, and I'm gonna work myself this direction. And you see how I work myself to the front. I did the tip, then work myself. So whatever product is left to the brush or on the brush, I will move it to the front. All right, blend it out, let it blend right out. So I'm gonna pull the product down. Pull the product down. Pull it down. All the way down. Now, if your eyelids are like mine, my eyelids are a little darker than everywhere else because I have discoloration on them. I will just pull the product down all the way down and even out. It looks like that. Now you can go in with a dry beauty blender and blend that out. Or a sponge. You can get these at Marshall's. A beauty blender or a sponge. All right. So, and I'm just going to blend that out. Just like that. Just like that. And I'm blending it out to make sure it looks really, all I'm trying to do is to get my brows defined. And you can see it's done. Let's move on, because if I go in details, this video won't end. This video won't end. All right, so the next thing you want to do, after you blend that out, you just want to make sure everything is done properly on the eyes. So the eyes is done for that, right? Yeah. So I'm now going to move on to primer. And some people say primer is not important, but for me, it is. Reasons why: I just think, just like if you're painting a wall, you need to put a primer on a wall before you put the paint. So for primers, there's many different type of primer out there. There's one for e.l.f., that's the brand, e.l.f. And this is the Poreless Face Primer. You can get this at Target. It's pretty cheap, not expensive. You also have, if you have super oily skin, which means you have oil everywhere, or even if you have oiliness in your T-zone, which means if you're out and you get super oily, you can use a mattifying primer. And a mattifying primer, what it does is help the oil from seeping through to your foundation. So one called Becker, which is pretty pricey, but Becker does have a Poreless Perfect Matte Primer, and that's what it looks like. I know they changed the color of the packaging. It's a little lighter brown than this color, but again, Becker has one out there. Also, you have one from Colorfex, which is Colorfex. That's the brand, if I can get it in focus sometime today. I will leave the name below just in case we cannot get it in focus, okay? This is, again, Cover FX, and it's a mattifying primer. So I am going to be using the e.l.f. today just to keep it really cost effective and really not that expensive. And what I normally do is put it on the back of my hand. And the new technique I've been doing, you do not have to do this, is just to use a brush to apply the primer on my face. So I just want to go ahead and prime my face like this. So foundation. Now foundation can be pretty tricky. If you do not know what shade foundation you wear, you're going to look on two things. You're going to try to see what color your neck is. Now, if you can look at my neck, you can see a lot of yellowness. A lot of yellowness in my skin tone. You see, if my undertone was red, then you will see a lot of red peeping through. So how you match your foundation is from your neck. You want to make sure when you're checking your foundation to see what shade you wear, you check it as close to your neck as possible. So what you're going to do is to do a little test from here to here, and just to see in daylight, not, you know, regular artificial light, but daylight, to see if it really matches your neck. You do not want your neck to look a little dark and your face to look red. You do not want your face to look red and your neck look dark. I mean, and there's ways to fix that, but we won't get into that in this video. So I already know that I already know my shades in each foundation that I use. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced, and that's the brand Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Spice Rum. Spice Rum is the shade, and it has a lot of yellow to it and a little red, because that is my skin tone. I do have a little redness, but more yellowness. I'm more golden than I'm actually red, and golden is the same thing as yellow. All right, so I'm going to use that foundation, and I normally use a sponge or a beauty blender to apply my foundation, and I normally make sure it's damp. So what I use to make sure it's damp is rose water. Or you could use regular water, but I use rose water, and I get this from Marshall's. So what I'm going to do is to wet my sponge. All right, so I'm going to go in with my foundation. And the foundation is going to look a little dark once I put it on, but it's going to oxidize to the right shade, okay? So you see how it looks a little darkish, but it's not. All right, so I just swipe it on, nothing. And if you see I'm doing a patting motion. I'm pulling it down, right? I am patting. It's like you're stapling the product in your face, right? So you pat it in, 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 pat it in. Sorry. You know, you guys got to keep me under control. I'll be out of control. All right, so pat it in. And you can see the coverage. Look at that. Pat it in. And you will definitely go over your eyes, under your eyes, just to make sure you're not looking really crazy up there. But I will wait until I'm finished before I go on top of my lid, because I want less product up there, right? So now you see the foundation is all over my skin. Now you don't have to use a beauty blender. You can also use a brush. I just find it very easier to use a sponge versus a brush. It just applies it because it just helps you to distribute the product better. So now this is your face completely done with your foundation. Now we're gonna move on to concealer. What you wanna do, sometimes we, women of color or anybody, have discoloration issue under your eyes. So what I'm gonna do is to use a concealer just to let my eyes stand out a little and to correct any discoloration that I may have under my eyes. So we're gonna use a concealer to do that. Now the concealer you're going to use is not the same. You could use the same concealer as you use to arch out your brows or to define your brows, but I don't. The one that I'm going to use or talk about is two different concealer that I have here. And one is from e.l.f., which is the same brand as the primer. And you can get this again at Target. And the shade that I'm using is Deep Cinnamon. And all it's going to do is just to give me a little coverage and make my eyes stand out. Again, this is a more natural coverage. And I'm going to put a little on my forehead because your face has 4 different highlight areas right there, right there, right there, and your chin. Now, the rule of thumb is for you to get a more better coverage of your concealer under your eyes is to let it dry down a little. What does that mean? When you apply it, just let it sit there for a little bit. Yes, let it sit there. Don't touch it. Let it sit there just for a little bit, all right? And you can use the same sponge that you use. It's good to use a damp sponge. You just turn the other side. And if you can see, these Real Techniques sponge that I use, and you can get these at Target, Marshalls, wherever they're much cheaper and easier to change out when after a while, versus the Beauty Blender, which costs $20. Best thing to do if you're not an expert on doing your lips, and yes, there is a trick in doing your lips, just line where your lips are, right? Okay, and that's all I do for that. Then I'll try to sort of blend it in. Now I'm gonna go back and now blend out my concealer under my eyes. And you're still gonna be doing the patting motion. You wanna look up. And when you look up, you're basically getting all the way up under your eyes. And I will blend it all the way up. So you're not supposed to see where your concealer starts nor your foundation. So it's supposed to look like that when you finish blending. Blend the other side. So I use a loose powder, or you could use a pressed powder to set it. Lately, I've been using this L'Oreal Inflammable Setting Powder. And of course, you want to make sure your blender or anything that you use, your sponge, is actually damp. And you just want to go under there and tap under just to make sure it's not going to crease up. And again, I do that immediately. So now that you have that done, I'm going to go in and do a little mascara on my eyes and then finish off my lips, put a little highlight on my face, and then we'll be done. Just like that. I'm going to use the Fenty. All right. So with applying mascara, there's a quick method that I use. With the mascara, what I normally do is just put it right here and blink down. Just to apply the product, I just normally just blink down. Right here, blink down, blink down. And it applies more product to my lashes because I don't have a lot. So blink down, blink down. I pull it this way and blink down. And then after I see that I have a lot there, I just go in and just turn the tip and tap it like that. Tap it like that. So you can see that I have a little, product there. Now I'm going to go in with a lipstick. And you cannot go wrong with a burgundy lipstick. This is now from AJ Crimson. And this is the Sip Tea. You do not have to buy an expensive. You could use any lip liner or lipstick. And I'm just going to put this on. And it's like a red. That's most people's favorite color. And it goes on much easier because my lips are already moisturized. Merge, tap, 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 lean to the side, and tap. Okay. Another thing that I like to do is to bronze. I do not like to do contouring all the time. I like to bronze up my skin. So now your face is just blank. You cannot just leave it like that. You have to bring back your structure, some colors into your skin. And what I mean by that, I'm going to create some shadows on my face. And what I'm going to do to create some shadows, I'm going to use a bronzer. And a bronzer is like a color that is darker than your skin tone to create shadows. So just think about if you want to do a transition on the wall, you would do something opposite from what's there. So I'm going to use this palette from Black Radiant. And you can get this again at Target. And I'm going to use this dark shade. Yes, I hit pan because I use it so much. And I'm going to do something, and I want you to watch. I'm going to use my mouth to do, to see where my shadow needs to be. So your shadow normally needs to be right, woo, 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 but it's where you start your shadow. So I'm going to dip my brush, and I would use a brush to do this. So I am going to do this. And I'm going to start my shadow all the way here, and I'm going to bring it and stop right here. And you're really trying to stop right there in the corner of your eyes into an angle. You do not have to pull it down here. All right. So watch what I do. And I know my shadow will start from right there. You can start from right where if you have a long sideburn, you can start right there, and I'm going to pull it right there. And this is all I'm going to do is to create a shadow. Do you see that? Right. So if you do that, you see that shadow? Yeah. So let's get these shadows on, right? Yes. And that's all you're trying to do is to create that shadow. Do you see that? Right. And that's all that you're doing is bringing back some color. Now I like to do a little highlight, and I may use, I've been loving this highlight lately. I found this at Marshall, and all I'm trying to do is just to give my face a little bit of dimensions. We're not going to do any blushes because that's very deep. So I'm just going to use this highlight product like this, or there is one that comes here also, right here. It's a champagne. You can use it to highlight, and you want to highlight right there on top of your cheek, right there. So right there, you want to highlight. Some people will just put it right there and stop. So you want to use a brush, and you want to just to put it a little there, just a little. Just to give it that glow. Do you see that little glow right there? Right. So this is not a beat look. So again, I end up using this highlight because I just don't want to confuse you guys. So just a little to give you a little glow right there. And the same thing here. Now if you mess up, you can always go back with the foundation sponge that you use and fix this problem. So you're just going to put this a little right there just to give you a little highlight. Don't drag it down. Just tap it and stop right there. Tap and stop. Tap it right there and just stop. I'm going to do this on this side. Just a little, stand out just a little so you guys can see it better. Just tap it right there. And then you can also always go in with a brush to blend it into your skin. And this is all I'm doing. Do you see the brush is just now blended in? So it doesn't sit on top of your skin. And I'm going to a C motion with that. Do you see that? Now this will be my quick, easy, very quick and easy, simple one-on-one makeup tutorial. So you guys can get to this level, then I may do another video to move us on from this level to the other level. If this video was very informative, if you have learned something from this video, and if it has helped you, then leave a comment below, subscribe. And this is all that I have, guys. Yes, a very simple, quick makeup tutorial. Let's try to get these videos, guys, up. My goal this year is to get to 2,000 subscribers, and I would love if you guys can help me to get to 2,000 subscribers by sharing these videos. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on my very next video. Bye, guys.